Hi, I'm Neve.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
And we are the Collective. And today we are joined by the amazing Manchester-based DJ and producer Reeta.
Hello there.
Hiya.
How are you today? What have you been up to for the last week?
I'm really good, thanks. I've been enjoying the weather because it's been quite sunny here in Manchester. But I'm also launching a business which actually isn't anything to do with music. So that is taking up a lot of my time. But now we're coming out of lockdown, I feel like obviously I'm trying to juggle like business, DJing, producing, and it's all kind of a bit crazy, but in a good way.
Tell us a bit about that business then, what you're doing.
So it's called We Are Abundant AF. So I will leave it up to the imagination as to what the AF stands for. And basically, over lockdown, obviously with music just completely stopping in its tracks in terms of DJing and gigs, I kind of went on a bit of a journey and kind of really got into like law of attraction and spirituality and things like that. So this business is basically a manifestation of everything that I've like learned over lockdown. And I'm launching products which can't really reveal right this second, that are all based around that and kind of based around self-care and like helping, I guess, people to get through this weird period of like transition that down.
Self-care can take form in many ways, obviously sort of through various products and things, but also I think a lot of people find self-care through like music and things like that. And obviously you're a DJ, you're a producer, so obviously you played at Defected's festival in Croatia, I believe, was it? So how was that? Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
imagine the feeling of that. How was that? Tell us a little bit about that and sort of your journey to that.
But it feels like such a long time ago now, because obviously it was the summer before lockdown. So I entered a DJ competition, basically to win a set at Defected. And it wasn't just me, it was other DJs. I think there was maybe like 15 other DJs across like the 6 days of the festival. And we had like our own specific stage. And it was like a real kind of like, obviously a pivotal moment because they're like a brand that I think a lot of people in the community follow, like they love, they look up to. And it almost feels like it never happened in a way. But yeah, it was really good. And, you know, like the organization of it was brilliant. And there were, you know, the people who obviously run Defected and are behind Defected were really supportive. And yeah, it was good. It was good fun. And obviously to be at a festival in general is great fun, isn't it? So to play that, and actually whilst I was playing my set, they had like a secret boat party with a secret guest, and the guest was Peggy Goo. Whilst I was DJing, Peggy Goo actually walked like, you know, like through the crowd to obviously go. So that was, obviously she wasn't there for me, but it was one of those like, oh my god, as if I'm DJing and Peggy Goo is like subconsciously listening to my music. So yeah,
No, she was there for you. Have that manifest.
Yeah.
All about manifesting. She was there for you. And as a woman in the music industry who obviously has a lot of female DJ influences, what advice would you give? Because sometimes sadly it can feel like a male dominated, you know, even though there's probably 50-50 split, it can feel like a male dominated industry DJ. And so what advice would you give to girls who might feel like they have to push that little bit harder?
You know, that's such a good question. I think it is, for me, it's definitely about that self-belief. So I think if you love DJing and you love music and you love music, but you're like, oh, I'm a girl, or oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not as good as, you know, as good as the boys, the best thing you can do is to work on that belief. And there's so many different ways of doing that. And it's actually kind of not really about music, it's about your approach to things. Because actually, if you're telling yourself, no, you know, I'm not good enough, or this is not going to go well for me, or they would never pick me because I'm a girl, you know, that feeds into everything, and that's going to like become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think 100% work on your self-belief. Do not let anybody tell you that you're not good enough, or that you can't do it because you're a woman, because you really can. And also like reaching out to other female DJs. Like if anybody ever like sends me an inbox or a DM, I am more than happy to chat to them. Like, you know, I might not be the right person to help them in that moment, but I can try and point them in the right direction and things like that. So just be confident enough to reach out to other people who've done it. It can be scary because I think sometimes you look at people and think, oh, they've achieved so much, they wouldn't want to talk to a little low life like me, but it's not true. Just ask, because as a female artist, and, you know, people who are kind of further along in their journey than I am, and people who are maybe starting out, we all need to be there for each other. So yeah, just speak to people and network as well.
That's amazing. It's such good advice. And that's the thing, talking is key. And I mean, as we say up in Newcastle, shy Ben's getting out. And that means if you don't, so you know, why not go for it? And then sort of away from music, obviously we've touched on Croatia. Say whatever's going on in the world right now, which we don't need to talk about. Say that wasn't a thing, restrictions weren't around. If you could go to one place besides Croatia, where you've already been in the world, where do you think that first place you'd be going would be?
Oh, this is such a good question. I'm actually going on holiday this afternoon, but only in this country, so it's not the most exotic location. I think I've never been to America, so I'd absolutely love to go to America. I will admit this guilty pleasure that I've built over lockdown. I'm obsessed with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think over lockdown, obviously, because there wasn't much else to do, just been like, watching old episodes of it, and I was like obsessed with what they were doing in 2011. Must get home to watch it. So yeah, I'd love to go to LA, I think. Which is funny because I don't think I would have said that before lockdown. So yeah, we've changed a lot.
Do you know what? I'm so there for you with that one. But what's going to happen is you're going to get sucked into the Housewives of Orange County, the Housewives of wherever else, because that's what happened to me. And you get a bit sick with it though, because you can't keep up with all the drama. Away from that, we don't need the drama in lives. It is good though. And for the rest of 2021, first of all, tell people what to be up to other than going on a little staycation this afternoon, and tell people where they can find you on social media as well.
So next week I'm appearing at Manchester International Festival. I'm not actually DJing, but I'm engaging in like a Records of Reflection talk with the Manchester label called Sprechen. And then we've got a couple of gigs coming up that have not been announced yet across Manchester and Leeds. And you can find me on social media at I am Reeta DJ, and Reeta is spelled REETA, and that's across everything. So Instagram, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Resident Advisor, things like that. I'm not on Twitter. So yeah, but I am on Facebook.